Hey guys, Matthew here from Odie Stories Media, and thank you so much for tuning into this video. Well, I got 3 pens, and last night I gave one of these 3 pens a, well, let's just say I tried to grind a nib, and, well, let's just say, thinking about doing it again. And this is the pen that I ground the nib on. So far, the pen writes fairly well. It's still a bit scratchy, but I can't really complain. It's always a risk attempting to do a nib grind yourself, but you know what? I took a risk, and I think that risk sort of paid off for me last night. This was I believe it's a fine nib that I ground last night, and I basically, from what I can figure out, I think I made it into a stub. So, but other than that, the pen writes fairly nicely. It's a bit scratchy on one side. I got to smooth that out, but I'll show you just some of the tools and stuff that went into grinding this nib. Now, I really don't recommend doing it, but if you want to really destroy a pen, it's a good way to go about it, and whatnot. But I wouldn't recommend practicing on anything above maybe the $10 price range. This pen was not $10, so, but either way, I took a chance. I swung for the fence, I guess, in most cases. But overall, the pen writes and all that stuff. Okay, let me show you exactly what I used on this pen. The other 2 pens that I am thinking about next are these 2. This one here, this is about as cheap as you can get. This is not a Lamy Safari, don't worry about that. This is a Jinhao, this one is the Jinhao 82, sorry. This one is the 777, and this one is a fine nib as well. This is the one I'm considering. This was like $1 something on AliExpress, but yeah, so one of these 2 pens I'm considering, or both, grinding into a stub. Now, the one thing that I don't have is the writing sample for this one beforehand, and so I thought, for the purposes of this video, I did the writing sample for both of the 2 pens that you see on screen. So this is pretty much before the nib grind on both of these. And then afterwards, after the nib is ground, pretty much, this was the result after doing the grind for the Mahjong M800. So that's the result. And of course, the weight of the pen was 24.39. And so overall, you know, I like it. It writes. But like I said, see if I can do this. But like I said before, one side just doesn't write. But I'm not too worried about it. I will figure that out at some point. So, but anyway, but like I said, the pen writes. I can't complain. And for a first attempt at grinding my own nib, not too bad, not too bad. That's all I gotta say on that one. But okay, let me show you what I used last night to do this one. And a couple things came into play. Primarily, what I used last night was a Dremel and single speed Dremel. Then to make sure that I wasn't taking off too much tipping, I'll just throw this in the screen here. There we go. I used the microscope to check the work and whatnot. And then finally, to smooth it out, one of these little hobby jobbies that you get at the dollar store. And it smoothed out the nib pretty nicely. Except for that one side that I can't get writing, but I will, like I said, I will get that. So for the so I think for the most part, I'm going to attempt to make this my next victim. Like I said, I don't know if I want to really do the 82 yet. The 82, and I'm probably just repeating myself over and over again, but the 82 has more of a Lamy style. Well, maybe not. No, it's the other one. But the 82 is a medium. I don't know if I'm going to attempt to grind this one. I'm still thinking about it. But for sure, it's this one that has the Lamy style nib. And of course, it's one that this is the whole purpose on why I got a bunch of these cheapo 777s, was to attempt to grind a nib. I did this one last night, just kind of to see how I would make out, and I did pretty good. Okay, first thing, let's just get rid of a couple of these things here. Here, put that there. Okay. So, I don't really think I'm going to attempt this. But last night, the way I did the Moon Man, or the Mahjong, whatever the company goes by these days, I just kind of held the Dremel in my one hand, and with the other, of course, I had the microscope on, just so I can see, which I will do right now. Normally you'd send your pen off to a nibmeister, but they can be fairly expensive, and plus, depending on the grind that you want, that price depends. But this is a fine nib, and it's all aligned. So what I really want to do is I just want to turn it into a stub, a fine stub, and after that I will then go through and smooth out the nib using this little guy that you can just find these guys at the dollar store. But first, let's check the weight, and I'll just show you the weight. It should come up as 16.69 or 16.68, but I rounded it up there. So okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the video, and I am going to just get this down to a stub. Now, I don't want to take off too much material. I think last night I took off just a little too much. I'm just going to take off enough of the tipping and then try and square it up. So we'll do that, and I will be right back.